I used to have it all. Friends, riches, trust and serve authorities. Okay, no, hold up a second. You had friends? Okay, fine. I had a single friend, but it's not about count. It's about quality. Uh-huh. Okay, fine, I have been just a rock. So what? Still counts? Look how cool it looked. Well, it doesn't matter now, does it? When it's all gone anyway. How did this happen? Well, it is a cautionary tale of lies, manipulation, and trying to be too nice for your own sake, or probably just plain stupid is the word most would use, except I would argue that you could take the smartest person to ever exist, they still wouldn't know what's behind the wall until they looked. And I did finally take a peek, which I'm almost certain will change me as a person in a way I'm not sure I like. What do I mean? Well, first, it would help to understand who I am. And I'll tell you that as soon as I figure that out. For now we must settle for the next best thing, which is what I do. And if you talk to me in game, no matter who you are, I'll most likely just talk to you back, which is that dumb given my position, maybe. But it is something that led to plentiful of interesting and wholesome conversations with you, so I thought it was a good thing. But I guess it was only a matter of time for that trade to turn into a trap 300J wouldn't hesitate to capitalize on. And yeah, unfortunately I didn't record most of the interaction, cause I mean, why would I? When in my mind it was just another guy visiting my island. Okay, I mean, there was one thing different this time, and that usually there is a reason behind the visit. To take the picture, visit their museum, collect my soul. If you don't play Skyblock and don't know what that means, don't worry, that's just what we do. Or simply just to talk. But this time, even after saying hello and giving it entire century of time to write out entire essay about your possible intentions, nothing. He just stood there doing nothing. I mean, I figured probably a viewer, cause I mean, how would he know my name? I figured he probably needs something, cause I mean, why wouldn't he be doing literally anything else other than just standing here? And I figured he might be muted. And I vividly remembered that that thought alone has already light up a tiny red bulb of cautiousness in my head, but not for the reasons it should have. Why? Well, because I come from the future of even the guy narrating the video, and it is double painful to watch how it got almost immediately dismissed by me trying to be, I don't know, understanding. Well, there's a lot of reasons he could be muted for, some of them dumb, so probably should just ask rather than start assuming stuff. So I did. So we go to his island. I don't remember exactly how it went, but I'm pretty sure he just used a sign to say something about the reason for the mute being dumb and asked to switch to Discord for easier talk. Which, I know, usually not a good idea, but I figured, if he wanted to do some nefarious stuff, coming up to a YouTube prank while muted, banking on the fact that not only will he not ignore you completely, but instead actively try to figure out what do you want, would be such a dumb way to do it, I didn't even consider it as an option. And which wouldn't change. Over the next 2.5 hours we spent talking over Discord. Okay, I mean, not straight, more just every now and then coming back to write out a response while being mostly occupied with other stuff, like looking through deskmats to come up with a cool design after company has reached me for a possible collaboration. All that is to say, it went for a while. Even getting to that point of conversation when you start sharing Spotify playlists with each other, and most importantly, the entire time without him showing any sign of wanting something else other than to just talk. Quite opposite, actually. It only made more sense why would he want to just talk. When after getting into some deep philosophical discussion with him asking me questions like what do I think of myself and what do I think others think of me, and reflecting the same question back to him, it revealed that it was something he has been struggling for a while, mainly constantly worrying what other people will think about him, which in my eyes partially justified him showing up acting kinda strange. Well, maybe he was just feeling down with no one to talk to, and I cannot show you most of the conversation since he deleted all of his messages afterwards, but I can show you my responses as sort of proof. And which is kind of fun, looking back at it now, knowing the person I was actually speaking with, because it's basically like, oh hey man, why the long face? I don't know, man, I just constantly worry what other people think about me. Don't worry about it, people probably just after I steal all of their stuff. Oh yeah, that could be the reason. Anyway, have you tried not doing that? Yeah, I don't know. could help. But anyway, it did achieve what it was probably supposed to achieve, which is to make me feel sympathetic and gain my trust. Although, it was getting late at this point and I was going to get off. But before I would do that, he asked me to go back to the game for a second and trade him my armor. Worth about 100 million, which is not insignificant, but looking at his 70 billion net worth, it would be ridiculous for me to expect him to try to steal it, with more plausible explanation being him just trying to show gratitude for the time I just gave him. And sure enough, he took my armor, without even asking, put some fairly expensive upgrades on it and just gave it back, with that fully establishing in my eyes that on top of being just a chill and genuine guy, he also doesn't care about money all that much, and making my trust level officially reach 100%. Only for it to drop by half, as well as make my alertness level go from literally 0 to 100 in the very next question, that is there a universe in which he can hold my rock pet for a second? Which in any other scenario would be just a normal question, except it wasn't just any rock pet. It had one of the rarest, most expensive, and arguably the coolest skin in the entire game, sold only once at the beginning, then never since. It was given to me by a friend some years ago when the price was already hovering around billion coins, and then was accompanying me in every adventure ever since, with the price only rising and rising to be evaluated at around 32 billion coins at the time of the conversation. And which had me pause for a long while. Cause I mean, what was already basically in the books as a slam dunk case of yet another positive viewer interaction had now a chance, a tiny, but a chance, of it all being manufactured for this moment alone. But then again, I try to calm myself down, then look at the entirety of our conversation and think to myself, am I just being paranoid? I mean, apart from him being muted, which could have been anything. There was not a single sign that would suggest that he wanted to scam, while there could be plenty reasons suggesting he wouldn't want to do it, such as him clearly knowing who I am, being high level, high net worth, talking to me for 3 hours, being genuine, and having perfectly plausible reason as well. Because combined with his 70 billion net worth would allow him to make a screenshot with 100 billion, which as he put was always his goal, and which he would love to flex on his brother. Which on top of everything, I mean, that sounded just so wholesome and fun. I don't wanna be the party killer, cause of what? My paranoia. And he offered some collateral, which at least in my mind even further confirmed his most likely clear intentions, so finally I come up with an idea. And I think to myself, okay, there's like no chance he's actually gonna do it. But I mean still, I can always just record all of it. And if it turns out it was all just a lie and he really did just do all of that for a small chance I actually agree and he will be able to stab me in the back, I can just show the proof to the admins and get my stuff back. And so, we make the trade. He takes the rock, leaves immediately, the end. You'd think, but no. That would actually make sense. Well, what actually happened, I still cannot understand to this day. I mean, yeah, he did leave, but after a few tense minutes of me imagining the worst, as promised, he just comes back, very ecstatic, shows me the screenshot, says his brother is flabbergasted and that I made his day. Which, you know, apart from being happy I could make someone else happy, I just breathed a small sigh of relief that it didn't turn out to be a scam. In what seemed excitement and gratitude, he once again asked for all of my stuff so he could put even more expensive upgrades on it that would set me up even for the master mode of dungeons, which wasn't really necessary. Last time I played dungeons was literally like few years ago, but I thought, okay, if he's trying to show gratitude, then I guess. And he was specific about all of this stuff too, like after looking at my Hyperion asked if I know about sharpness now stacking with smite, or if I have a problem with surviving, so he can set me up specifically for that. Which I am sorry, but last time I checked that is not exactly relevant information when you are not planning to return it. And the weirdest part is that he actually spent money applying all the upgrades. Not a small amount, I mind you. I mean, I'm not sure exactly, but it had to be like couple 100 million at least. Why is that the weirdest part, you may ask? Well, because after saying he digged a bit too hard into his golden dragon bank and asked me for my entire purse, of which he did say he would return most of it, but still, it was the first time since the very beginning he did not make any sense in the slightest and immediately pierced me with a horrible feeling, especially knowing he still has my rock pet, so there was literally nothing I could do now other than to cope. He still somehow has good intentions. He takes it all, kicks me out of the island, and blocks everywhere. And at this point, I'm just more confused than anything. Like, bro, why did you just waste over 200 million? If you're going to take all of the stuff anyway, I mean, you're not going to use it yourself, you have way better stuff. Speaking of which, why do you even need to steal in the first place? You have basically top 100 net worth. Wouldn't you already be able to afford everything you would ever need? Even if you want more, why do it on your main profile on camera against guy with connection to admins? Plus, why me? Apart from the rock I would never sell anyway, I'm basically broke. It's like a billionaire stealing from homeless person. Okay, actually that wouldn't be that surprising, but still, why do all that theatrics? Why spend the 3 hours? Why? Those were only but a fraction of all the questions running through my head, but I quickly realized he already could be trying to smuggle my stuff across profiles, and that now, time is of the essence. So the first thing I'm trying to figure out is how do I contact the admins, cause that line about me having connections, yeah. That was a lie. The best contact I had by far would be with Time Dio, and this was the entirety of the only conversation we ever had. But screw it, it had to be enough. So I sent a DM. He actually responds fairly quickly, allowing me to calm down a bit, thinking I'm in a good hands now and everything's gonna be okay. So I tried to briefly explain the situation, including the possibility of him transferring the stuff and making sure that in that case they would be able to track it. And my heart just sinks through the floor reading that yeah, he is able to track it, but he cannot reverse the trade. And if I made a bad deal, then sadly it's all lost. What do you mean bad deal? I mean, I guess 36 billion for nothing in return could be considered a bad deal. If it was a deal, I mean, there was no deal, he just took my stuff and ran. Also, what do you mean reverse the trade? I mean, I don't need to reverse the trade specifically. Wouldn't you just be able to go to his island, yoink my stuff back easy? In fact, I don't even care about other stuff, just give me my rock back, that's all I care about. I promise I will not trust anyone ever again. And my heart is already at this point halfway to the Earth's core, realizing just how truly screwed I am after reading that Yena. He wished it worked like that, but there is nothing he can do. Which did confuse me a bit. I mean, I could swear it was a standard ability of any admin on any server, but after thinking about it, it kinda would make sense if they wouldn't want to be able to do that on purpose, as weird as it may sound. Learning that yanking stuff back is not an option, I did try spitballing some ideas like intimidation tactics, he can give the stuff back or get banned, which, I mean, he literally did just break rules, but yeah, that didn't really work. Well, he did offer to contact someone higher up if they would be able to help me, but also said that he's pretty sure it's still on me. It's like 2 AM at this point. I know I have to go to sleep, but I just lay in bed with like billion questions running through my head. Was all of it planned from the start? Did he knew I wouldn't have trusted him? Hadn't he done all of that? How was he so genuine? Is he some kind of secret genius? Did he knew he wouldn't get in trouble? Has he done it before? Well, one of the questions got answered pretty quickly after noticing that in an attempt to cover his tracks, he changed his name, I guess not realizing literally everyone can see it. What's funny, the next day he actually joined my island again with the new name and new skin. And looking back at it, I kinda wished I pretended I didn't know it was him to see what he would have done, except I wasn't really in a mood. So instead I just asked if he knows what he did is literally just illegal and he could get banned for it. Hearing which, he left immediately and I could just see him on the profile viewer frantically transferring all of the stuff to a different profile, only to come back like 15 minutes later and learn that literally every trade is traceable and he did all that for nothing. And hearing which, he left again to do God knows what at this point. All I know that whatever he did was totally unnecessary because the response from the higher up just came and it seems that scamming is officially fully legal. Okay, well, almost fully legal, because if some of you are wondering why throughout the entire video it was never considered that he was muted because he scammed people before. Well, because not only back then, but even throughout making this whole video, I was convinced you could get muted only to the chat-related offenses, which taking someone's stuff is not. And it was then when it connected to me that technically it is often the case that you have to talk to someone first in order to take their stuff. So maybe the reason nothing has been done and I wasn't even able to report him since technically he didn't said anything inside the game was because he already has been punished to the fullest extent that applies to him. Which, first of all, I wish I knew that before, probably would be a deciding factor. And now considering it as a punishment/prevention system, I mean, I guess it could prevent some of the scams after someone already got scammed. But at the same time, if you find a way to scam someone without talking to them or just don't care about being muted, you are already muted, then yeah, scamming is effectively just fully legal. And which, looking at the number of his pointless name changes, he was not shy of abusing. Although, I guess one case was interesting, given our conversation, cause it's like, oh hey man, why the long face? I don't know, man, I just constantly worry what other people think about me. Don't worry, people probably just being, oh, okay, now I get it. And of course, now I'm not saying all of that for you to start going around scamming people, but so that you can make better informed decisions yourself. Because so far, same probably as many people that didn't get scammed yet, I was operating on the assumption that scamming is illegal, full stop. Only after all this, I did check the rules again and noticed that there is, in fact, one additional line saying by accepting a trade, players are responsible for the outcome, which makes perfect sense. I have no problem with that. However, one additional thing I wish I knew before all this is that people trying to scam you have no risk of facing any repercussion, thus have zero incentive not to do it. And to be perfectly clear, I'm not saying it to demand some drastic changes, just a couple public executions here. No, just kidding. Or am I? No, I mean, at the end of the day, Hypixel is still a business. Paying attention to every little problem of us mortals would require a ton of time and money they wouldn't be able to spend somewhere else. And if you're wondering why some easy problem is still not fixed, well, it's often because you don't understand why the problem is not so easy. All I'm saying is that I wished I knew the guy I was making a trade with had nothing to fear, and if he only wished so, he could to this day sit in top 100 net worth with all of my stuff, which again, I am not even saying that he should have or still should get banned. If I cannot get my stuff back anyway, then personally it doesn't make a single difference to me. If it could prevent this kind of behavior, then I guess, but that's not at all my call to make. All I'm saying is that I wish I knew the dynamics, and that scamming not being allowed is more of a suggestion than an actual rule, which now I know. And so do you. And if you already knew that, then I guess this just becomes a funny video you can cheer yourself up to and say, okay, well at least I didn't lose as much as this guy. And now to address probably common and valid response someone could have to all this, like, okay little bro, so much yapping and none of this would even happen if you just were more careful. Which yeah, probably the case. I mean, I still could try to whistle myself out of the blame by saying I just didn't know being muted could be associated to scamming, or that admins don't have as much power as I thought they did. In that one and forever scenario I actually needed them, or that the length in which people would go to still stab you in the back would stretch this far, which that one got promptly updated with a surplus, you know, just to be sure, inadvertently changing my outlook to the world into a slightly grimmer one, but oh well, it's not like it wouldn't eventually happen anyway. But now, the thing is, even without knowing all that, if you only wish, it never takes a genius to prevent stuff like this forever. Just make sure to always put yourself first. Don't risk trying to do something nice in case someone is trying to use you. And make sure to always assume people's worst intentions despite their actions, and easy, you just never get scammed. The question is that the person I wanna be? Is that the world we wanna live in? Do we even have a choice? Well, I don't know. All I know is that Baldy the Rock deserved better. So now he gets to live forever on my limited time deskmat, available only for like 10 more days, and that 3 of you can now get for free, which by the way, this wasn't even supposed to be part of it. It was only after all of this happened when I thought, okay, it only makes sense for him to also get immortalized in there as well, among other notable characters like Jerry, Chickenheimer, Crafting Table, Ender Pearls, Gambling, I don't know, this side character, and even Technoblade himself, cause yeah, I did like the funniest thing, and without telling anyone, even the artist, who by the way did an awesome job, I personally snuck him in there, which I mean, this channel basically wouldn't exist without him, so also only made sense. And don't worry, I did it in probably the most respectful way possible, so that I don't think it is even possible to find him without me telling you where he is, although after telling you where he is, you will not be able to unsee it. Although I wanna at least give you a chance, so I don't know, first person to do it wins something. Speaking of which, you can also simply just post the picture of the deskmat on my Discord and win a free friend ad, as well as an option to get hot dropped into a call with me to ask a single question of your choosing that may or may not turn into a video. What is that? You don't need a deskmat? Well, funny you should say, cause it works perfectly as a poster as well. Okay, well listen, it's hard to film it and show it at the same time, but you get the idea. Or it can simply work as a great investment / gamble, if you will. I know I will gamble after this, cause did I tell you that the same as the rock skin, this desk mat will never ever be sold again, which means the same as the rock skin, in 5 years the value will be $32 billion. Okay, listen, there is a line in which AI takes over, economy collapses, and that's actually true. But even if, it wouldn't be because of EpicDesk and their strict no AI policy, which guarantees you your ever purchase will only ever support real artists while getting some of the best quality product in return. And now if you think to yourself, okay, that sounds awesome, I would love to get it, I just can't. Well, it's your lucky day. Okay, I guess could be. Because now 3 of you have a chance to get it for absolutely free. You can thank Derek from EpicDesk for that, and all you need to do is to enter a link in the pinned comment. Although remember that after July 19th the deskmat will be gone from the store and you will no longer be able to buy it nor get it anywhere ever. I mean, technically it should have been already gone, but technically this video should have been already out like a while ago. So being accommodating for me being slow, they allowed this one-time extension, but after this it is actually gone forever. So anyway, big thanks to anyone who got it, and thank you for watching. Although I guess there could be one more thing, cause some of you watching may be confused. Wait, don't you have like the most insane money making methods? I thought you were way richer than that. Well, I had reason to figure it out. I never had the reasons to actually do it. Although now that could change, cause if some of you have that rock skin and is willing to sell it, name your price. Cause yeah, I may not have it now. It may be more money that I made combined ever. But come on, shouldn't be that difficult.
Don't worry, Baldy, I'm coming for you.